What's going on, cryptocurrency universe? It's the Bitcoin miner here, guys. I hope everybody's doing well. I finally made it over to the Kyle's dungeon over at my dad's. So this has been a long time since we've had a chance to get a video out here, and I want to get a chance to show you guys the cell phone setup and how everything is running. These are the GPU miners. We still have some more in another location at the site. They're not running now. We're not mining anything with these GPUs. We're just using the CPUs currently, the ones that are worth it to mine Verus or anything else that happens to come up at the time. Then there are in the other GPUs, the A4000s, not all of them, but a lot of them they're using for rendering when the opportunity comes up to get some funds in, but it's not a lot. So let's focus on the cell phone setup. So this is Kyle's crazy dungeon over here, where he has been working tirelessly, taking all of these phones apart. We had 350 cell phones of various types here, all types of pixels, S8s, X9s, some other random brands. All of these now are about at least 2 years. It's probably been even 2.5 years. It's been close to that, but we get about a year to a year and a half, probably definitely a year. So we bought all these phones on eBay, used with cracked screens or sometimes no screens at all, and they lasted at least a year before we really started running into issues. A lot of them did last probably a year and a half, and then after that, it just really wasn't even worth it. So we're in the process now of taking out all of the batteries and hardwiring all of these different phones, attaching heat sinks to them, and getting them hardwired. So you can see there are stacks of phones and different screens. We're taking these screens off of them now. Kyle's been able to write some custom software, management software. And basically, he's got all the kinks worked out of the phones. It's really incredible what he's done. The biggest downside is when the power goes out, you have to hit the power button, unfortunately, and restart every one of them, which, you can solve that with a UPS. I think that's where Orange Pis really shine, is power goes out, power comes on, they auto restart compared to the phones. And the phones are cheaper. As you can tell, it's a lot more work to take them apart and deal with them. Now, instead of replacing the batteries, I think you guys have seen on the forums, make sure to join the Verus Discord forums. There's a lot of people teaching you how to do this, how to set it up, point you in the right direction. We chose this power supply, which I believe is 350 watts. I'll get the phone pretty close, but I can't read it as I'm recording. But if I remember correctly, it's 350 watts. You want to always leave 20% headroom. But 350 watts is more than we could ever run in one of these boxes. We're able to run about 48 to 50 phones in one of these U4 server boxes, which are stripped. I'll take you guys out there in just a minute and show you what they look like inside. But these power supplies are pretty cheap. They're about $30, $35 on Amazon. I'll put a link down in the description for the power supplies or any other parts I think that might be necessary for you guys to do. As you guys can see here, the way the power supply works, we're sending it to like a bridge, and then the bridge sends it out to the phone. It's because you only have so many connectors over there, different wire size. But this is meant to be like a highlight video, guys, of what this phone operation looks like, where we're at with it. It's something that's been running for, like I said, for at least 2 years at this point. What does it look like, and what's going on? But hardwiring is definitely the way to go. So let's go over here and take a look at the box. So we can see here, these are boxes. All these boxes out here are full of cell phones. So there's 1, 2, 3, there's one in the back corner over there, 4, another 2 down here, 5 and 6. So there are 6 boxes full of cell phones. There's actually 2 more in here as well. That's just part of another project. But this is for the mine personally, but well, Kyle helped me run it and set it all up. So you guys can see a nifty screen over here that I'm going to go zoom in on. This is our management software that Kyle has written. So it's really neat. We can see each tab you can see up here is a box. So there'll be 6 tabs, and you can go to the tab and we can see what each phone is doing, whether it's connected or not. And then we have a hash rate total down at the bottom and a total amount of workers. So there's 34 active workers in the box I'm going to show you. The average hash rate per phone is 4.14 mega hashes. This box has been recently restarted in the last 15 minutes. So it is slowly going to climb and balance out. I think we're getting closer to 4. You can't fake that stuff, but I think we're getting closer to like 4.5 mega hashes average per phone. Some phones are getting as high as 5 mega hashes depending on which one it is. So there we go, guys. This is that software that Kyle wrote. It's really, really awesome. Makes life so much easier management wise, and then you can know which phone is down. Now this also correlates to the box. So as you can see, you can count them off per row and the stack. So we can line this up and to line it up with the box or their number so that he has them on the IP address. And then we can even select one, show detail as an example. Hold on one second. So there's quite a few tabs. It gives you the pool information, it gives you the share information, and then it also gives you the model of the particular phone. It gives you the battery temp, the battery percentage, and then the battery current as it goes through. So like I said, this app is very, very useful. Kyle has put together. So this is the new and improved server boxes, which I will show you what the old version looked like. We have one box we haven't actually got converted over. We're about halfway there at this point. I believe 3 boxes are almost converted, and there's another 3 boxes to go. But as you can see, we use 1 power supply per box. It runs into a main rail right there, and then from the main rail, it's distributed out into the smaller rails, which sends it out to each cell phone as a hardwire. There are no screens on these phones. There's no need for the screen in this particular setup. We just need access to the power buttons, as I mentioned before. So let's go take a look at some of the other guys. Before we go over to another box, just look at the stacks of cell phones, and that's nothing. There's boxes of cell phones, and there's more. Okay, here's another box of cell phones. This has the older distribution setup. This is our original one. This is where we learned to do it differently. And the other one, as we had some voltage drops across it. But this is just kind of a high-level video, guys. Make sure to subscribe and stay tuned as we dive into it. Help teach you guys exactly how we're doing this. Give you the exact cable wiring and the whole setup. So let's go ahead and close this guy up. Okay, and then let's take a quick look at the Wi-Fi setup. We're using the Ubiquiti Wi-Fi, and over in here there is the main setup. So the controller along with the Ethernet port. With this setup, I believe we can run about 400 to 500 cell phones, and I believe it can be expanded upon by adding extra of the heads. But I'm not 100% sure about that. That is a Kyle specialty. So let's go over here and take a look at this one, which you guys can see they're all on and plugged in, but not currently mining. This box needs a lot more work. Let's see if I can get some more light over here. Oh, much better. Handy ring light helps a lot. But this is the older setup. We are pulling phones out and kind of letting run the ones of mine that still can. As you can tell, these phones are not actually bloated out. They're still usable. And so some of them will last even 2 years without bloating. But majority of them will bloat. 80 to 90% of them will bloat out, and you're going to have the same problem that we had. So let's see if we can find some of those. Okay, let's go back over here. Now, these are phones that we're actively going to work on. You can see how bad and bloated they are and cracking the screens. You guys definitely have to get one of these. I'll put a link also in the description for it. Really, you can use anything. It's a hot plate. It's a way to make the phones much easier to take apart. Although now they're really easy because they've already bloated. It became more handy when they were newer and not already halfway apart. But yeah, so here's another rig right here, up and running. Another old school one. We're still working on getting it all set up. So yeah, Kyle's doing a killer job over here. Getting all the phones wrapped up and hardwired, and hopefully they'll last another 2 to 3 years once we get them all hardwired, and we'll definitely have some good opportunities with mining on the cell phone, guys. And you know, hang in there, guys. It's not that bad. It really is not that hard to hardwire them. We'll do some videos teaching you guys how. There's already videos out there teaching you guys how. So it's not a big deal. But again, I really think the Orange Pis is just the easiest way to go. They're more expensive. So quick overview why we're kind of talking about the Pi compared to the phones. As I mentioned earlier, we can get the phones, anybody can get the phones. I think I averaged about $27 per phone on eBay with cracked screens, buying them slowly over a period of time. Like I said, several years ago. The Raspberry Pis, you're gonna get them, you know, probably about $75, $80, depending on where you get them and how you source them. So plus you've got a few more, you know, add-ons for those, but those have a little less headaches versus the cell phones. But they're definitely twice the price compared to the cell phone, especially if you've got the time and the ingenuity to go about them and hardwire them, because once they're hardwired, these things can produce 4.5 to 5 mega hash for, let's just say, an average of $30 a phone, where your Orange Pi is going to get 7 mega hash for a little more than twice the price. There is some simplicity in these, where once you kind of take these boards out, there's not much you can do with them. I don't think there's much resale value afterwards, so you're just going to mine with them until they die. The Raspberry or the Orange Pis do have some sort of resale value, although nothing like a GPU, so it would be very hard to liquidate those as well. But they each have their own pluses and minuses. Once these things are set up and running, they just run. They are effortless. They are great. Where these guys are, thanks to Kyle's programming and setting everything up, and we definitely got to give a shout out to Oink. I know Oink has helped a lot in tweaking some of these things and getting stuff set up, so definitely a shout out to Oink and the community. So I think it was also a community effort in everybody sharing knowledge and learning and teaching each other, but it has really been a task to get to this point. I think there were at least 5 or 6 different types of phones in here. Every phone is hardwired differently. You know, you got to make sure the batteries, you guys, before you take them out, make sure to drain them all the way, and then take them out, and they're safer, sort of, but they're safer drained. So make sure to drain your batteries before you take them out. And yeah, and then set them up in a case. You know, you're going to want to put some heat sinks on them, right, just like that. You know, you can save the screens. There's maybe some other components that you guys can take out of the phones, but the phones are fun. So in my personal opinion, I don't have the time to do the phones. Fortunately, Kyle helps me a lot. So I'm doing the Orange Pis at my house, as you guys already know from watching the videos, and we're doing the cell phones here because he can assist me with it. But the ideal situation, I think, is a combination of both. I really think that you would want a decent Pi setup that's kind of headache-free, that's really stable. I think they're about the same energy efficiency, really. but you know, you still have to buy some extra parts here and there for each one of them. But I think a combination between the two of them. Pick up a cell phone if you can find a good one at a good rate. You know, the Pis are, I think, are just going to stay at a steady price, so it's kind of like a good hunt, looking for the phones and kind of doing that. But just know that eventually we're going to have to hardwire those phones. But again, guys, I appreciate you guys watching the video. It's definitely been a long road to get to this point, but we're getting there, and the cell phones are getting all up and running. So thanks, guys, and remember, like, subscribe, and hey, tell me what your farm looks like. Where are you guys at? And remember to share and tell me if there's any suggestions or ideas that we might be able to do differently, or anything you guys have learned. So thanks, guys. See ya.
Hi, I'm Mike Tatongi, lead developer for the Verus project. Imagine a new world. Everything you value is safe and secure. Everything you do, see, say, and hear can be verified if you choose. Everyone you meet can present a verifiable reflection of the sum of their lifetime experiences. A society where your values, votes, and voice can be immutably expressed and secured by your community. All your data is verified, private, protected, and provable, enabling exchanges of self-evident truths. A society where equity of opportunity is available to all. Kindness can be exchanged without fear of fraud or humiliation. All exchanges can be certified, smart, and secure without the need to rely on costly intermediaries. Imagine a worldwide network, as scalable and as accessible as today's internet, capable of processing financial transactions in dollars, euros, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all major currencies, even custom currencies or auto-rebalancing multi-currency baskets defined by any organization or individual. This network is not run by any single company or government. Instead, it's a network of independent networks, all connected by a strong cryptographic protocol that ensures all funds of all currencies are accounted for flawlessly, and by doing so enables anyone in the world to contribute to powering it while enhancing its security and take a reward for doing so. Not only can anyone participate in this network by helping it run, the network makes it easy for anyone worldwide to create new fractal subnetworks that are launched from the network, and after launch are completely independent from, yet fully connected and interoperable with all other parts of the network. With each new community, country, company, or cause that creates its own subnetwork, the network of networks does not congest, but instead it gains the independent processing of a new subnetwork along with its additional scale and power. Imagine that all the network could be accessed and used by people, organizations, businesses, and governments easily, securely, and without any complex programming. With Verus's multi-chain model, scale challenges of today can be naturally solved by scaling out as needed, whether requirements call for centralized corporate, open government, or fully decentralized applications. In addition to this new technology, disruptive even among modern blockchains, the open, community-driven genesis and approach enables Verus to be the first and only rent-free, decentralized financial network capable of hosting multiple independent, yet connected real-world economies with thousands of connected blockchains, millions of fungible currencies, and billions of users. I look forward to seeing you around the Verus community, and thank you for your time.